Good afternoon from Phoenix, Arizona on another edition of Cronkite Sports Live. I'm Sammy Miller alongside Ethan Tuttle. Ethan, we have a full show ahead with basketball, wrestling, softball, and so much more. Are you ready to get into it?
Yeah, let's go ahead and get started as the Arizona State men's basketball team took a trip to the Pacific Northwest out in Washington as they were greeted by a loud student section, but that's not all, Sammy. They were also greeted by a barrage of three-pointers early on as Emmett Matthews Jr. gets it started for the Huskies, draining a three ball from the right corner. Now let's take a look to the left corner across the court. It's going to be another three. This time it's Jamal Bay. As the Huskies had it stuck on automatic early, Jay Heath couldn't get this one to go, and Jaylen Graham gets the rebound. You think he's going to make a nice play? Into the hands of the other team. Washington has it the other way as Arizona State had a handful of turnovers in this one, and Jay Heath misses another three. He just couldn't get it going. How about Enoch Boyache underneath the basket, though, gets a dunk trying to get his team back into this thing. And Marion Jackson from deep, as he had a hot hand, but he could also pass the ball and facilitate it, as well as Kamani Lawrence was also able to get in on the scoring sheet. In transition off another ASU turnover, it's an easy lay-in for 2 and 1. As Washington up big in this one, and pretty much from there, that's all she wrote, as Washington had a terrific surge in the back half of this second half. Enoch Boyache doing just about anything he can to try to get his team back into this one, but it would come to no avail as Jake Seymour is going to take us back and walk us through what a hectic week of basketball we had in Tempe.
Arizona State men's basketball just finished its homestand against a gauntlet of ranked opponents. Dating back to last week, the Sun Devils played 5 consecutive games against ranked opponents, the most in the Pac-12 since ASU played 6 straight in 2002. The stretch concluded at Desert Financial Arena, where ASU played 3 top 20 teams. Opening the 3-game homestand was a rematch against the Trojans, in which the Sun Devils struggled to keep up with the bat on the boards, as USC's 6'9" guard Drew Peterson and 6'10" forward Isaiah Mobley combined for 22 rebounds. It fueled the Trojans' 58-39 rebound advantage, which gifted them a 5-point win in Tempe. The UCLA Bruins arrived in Tempe as the heavy favorites, while ASU was on a 4-game slump and had not beaten the Bruins since 2020. Embracing their underdog status, Coach Bobby Hurley and his squad looked to leave it all out on the floor. A hot start gave the Sun Devils a 2-point lead at the half, and Marion Jackson was the bright spot, scoring a season-high 24 points. Down the stretch, Jackson iced the game at the charity stripe, which prompted an upset in Tempe. Helping Jackson was junior forward Jaylen Graham, who finished with 16 points and 10 rebounds. Recently, Graham has been a major contributor for the Sun Devils, scoring double-digit points in 5 of his last 7 games. Against the Arizona Wildcats, however, Hurley admitted he was misused after his 8-point performance on 4 for 13 shooting.
We just couldn't take advantage of JG as much as we have, and man, he has been playing so well that it's, you wonder if he's going to be able to sustain that, for another game. And the way they were guarding him, I think he could have had a few more opportunities if he, just faced up more and was a little more aggressive.
I'm Jake Seymour, Cronkite Sports.
Now we head to Coach Charlie Turner Thorne's squad. ASU took on Oregon. Oregon had a hot start. Sedona Prince is going to get in the paint and hit the bank shot. ASU wanted a piece of the action. Mile Giles throws it to Taya Hansen, who hits the three-pointer, gets DFA on their feet. Hansen tries to sink it again, is unsuccessful, but Maggie Besselink is there for the easy putback. Now Basalo has the ball in her hands, is going to throw it out to Jade Van Hefty, who's making a huge comeback this season after injury. Now Jaden Simmons gets the steal and is running to try to get that easy layup. Can't sink it, but once again, Hefty is there for the offensive rebound. Basalo once again wants a piece of the action, hits that mid-range jumper. India Rogers driving downhill, sinks the crucial bucket for Oregon. Lavelle is also going downhill and gets the bucket as well, and sinks the free throw, which could be a dagger in ASU's win. But India Rogers still tries to add on to her game-high 18-point total with that half-court shot, but is unsuccessful. The Sun Devils would pull off the huge upset win over Oregon. And now our women's basketball reporter, Kevin Malater, is at Desert Financial and is going to update us on their game tonight against the Arizona Wildcats.
Hey, thanks, guys. A fun matchup here at Desert Financial Arena awaits us in a couple of hours as the Arizona State women's basketball team plays host to the 6th-ranked Arizona Wildcats. And for Arizona State, they're coming off the high of beating both Oregon schools, which included a ranked win over Oregon last Sunday. And two things have become very apparent over the past couple of weeks if Arizona State wants to pull off this upset. It starts with getting Jade Lavelle to basketball and winning the battle on the boards. Jade Lavelle had a monster weekend against Oregon and Oregon State. She put up 33 points against Oregon State a week ago today and 16 on Sunday against Oregon. And not to mention the fact that when she's the leading scorer, ASU is 8-2, and when she doesn't lead the team in points, the Sun Devils are just 3-6. Now, in terms of rebounding, it has to go through Mile Giles. Giles has been the team's leading rebounder in 3 of their 6 games since returning from their COVID-19 induced hiatus, and she's got a favorable matchup tonight against an Arizona team who's ranked 12th in terms of total rebounding across all Pac-12 teams in conference games. Besides those poor rebounding numbers, Arizona is one of the top teams in the Pac-12 for a reason. They're a top 3 team in terms of field goal percentage, 3-point field goal percentage, and most importantly, points per games. Not to mention the fact they turn the ball over the fewest amount of times of any team in the Pac-12 and since the conference games have began. Overall, this Arizona team is fundamentally sound. They score a lot of points, and not to mention they're fast. So it provides a big challenge for this Arizona State defense, and we'll see if they're able to come up with a second consecutive ranked upset victory. Back to you guys in our studio.
Thanks, Kevin. Like you noted, Jade Lavelle has showed time and time again to be the Sun Devils' saving grace. The 5'11" wing from Boise State is a stat sheet stuffer. She's lethal from mid-range and can effectively catch and shoot on the perimeter. Her strong performances against the Beavers and Ducks led the Sun Devils to huge wins against these tough competitors. Now looking to the men's side, their go-to offensive weapon has been Jaylen Graham. In the Sun Devils' triple overtime win against the Bruins, his 16 points came in clutch, as well as his dominance on the glass. Both of these players will need to continue to lead their teams offensively if they want to find some more success.
ASU wrestling has been nothing short of dominant on the mat as they just keep killing it. In fact, they've been so dominant, they still have yet to drop a single match at home. For more on the Sun Devils' dominance in the Pac-12, here's reporter Jack Bartlett.
ASU just concluded Pac-12 play for the regular season. With a win over Little Rock on Sunday, it hasn't lost to a conference rival in 3 years and 9 days. The Sun Devils have won 3 Pac-12 titles in that span and have been more than dominant during this era. They beat Cal Poly 43-0 on February 15, 2020, and on January 2, 2021, ASU beat Little Rock 39-3. This year, the Sun Devils beat CSU Bakersfield 26-15, Cal Poly 20-18, Oregon State 20-17, Stanford 25-15, and Little Rock 29-12. It's the team's smallest margin of victory in their undefeated reign, and yet the Sun Devils have still been very dominant. One wrestler to keep in mind during this stretch is junior 133-pound Mikhail Mcgee. He earned his 100th victory this past weekend and has 2 Pac-12 Wrestler of the Week awards this year. He has the 7th most tech falls in the nation this season, 2 of which came against Pac-12 foes. His speed alone sets him apart in his conference. He's among the best offensive wrestlers in the nation. Coach Jones constantly mentions that the grind is to always get better. So ASU's dominance in the Pac-12 recently isn't sufficient enough for him. Moving forward, the Sun Devils will host the Pac-12 Championships on March 6th and then head to Detroit for the NCAA Championships later that month. And here's Reese Andrews with the preview for ASU's next match against Mizzou.
Number 13, Arizona State Wrestling, is set to take on number 10, Mizzou, for one of their toughest matchups of the season. Mizzou coming off a huge upset last week, beating the then-ranked number 6 Oklahoma State Cowboys 21-20. Let's take a look at some of the key matchups. First, number 3 ranked Ja'Cory Teamer, one of 2 undefeated Sun Devils, will take on number 21 Jarrett J. Cuse at 157 pounds. J. Cuse is coming off a 2-1 decision loss to number 18 Wyatt Sheets and looking for a bounce back against Teamer, but that is no easy task. Teamer is coming off an 18-6 major decision victory at Little Rock and hopes to keep his undefeated streak going. Next, at 197 pounds, number 9 Cordor Norfleet versus number 8 Rocky Elam. Norfleet is coming off a 20-3 technical fall win in Little Rock, while Elam had a close matchup against Oklahoma State's backup Gavin Sticka. Elam defeated Norfleet last year 9-1, eliminating him from the bracket at the NCAA Championships, so Norfleet is looking for revenge. And finally, the marquee matchup of the night, number 7 Anthony Valencia versus number 2 Keegan O'Toole at the ever-competitive 165-pound weight class. Valencia has had a rough patch in the last 3 duels, taking 2 losses, in a 9-1 major decision loss to Cal Poly's number 1 ranked Evan Wick, and a close one to Stanford's number 3 Shane Griffith, and now he will take on number 2 Keegan O'Toole. Valencia will face his 4th top 20 opponent and 3rd top 10 in the last 4 duels. As for O'Toole, he won a close one 3-2 against number 8 Travis Whitlake. It's sure to be an exciting matchup, and close to the very end. You can catch the action at DFA this Saturday at 6 p.m. For Cronkite Sports, Reese Andrews.
Thanks, Reese. We know Arizona State Wrestling will be one of many ASU teams moving into the new multi-purpose arena on campus. However, it won't just be collegiate teams. A professional team is now signed up to use the shiny new arena as well. Men's hockey, women's gymnastics, wrestling, and now the Arizona Coyotes of the National Hockey League will share this facility. As of yesterday, reporter Craig Morgan tweeted out that the Arizona Board of Regents approved the move of the Coyotes from Glendale to Tempe for at least 3 seasons.
All right, well, let's check out some softball. Sammy, that weather's starting to warm up a bit here in Tempe, and we know that only means one thing, more Sun Devil softball as we're back at Barrington. Allison Royalty gets the team started off with a nice strikeout there in the top of the first. Let's head to the bottom of the frame. Here's Yanni Acuna. Drills one on the ground into right field. Advancing the runners, and then Allison Royalty once again on the hill. Throws one in. This one's drilled to left center field, though, as the base runners are going to advance and score for Oklahoma State. Later on, they drop a bunt down. Nothing working there, though. How about Cheyenne Factor? Oklahoma State sends this one way over the wall. They were not intimidated by the number 21 team in the land at all. As here's another one on the left side of the field. On the ground, it's going to be scooped up and taken care of easily there by Arizona State. Bella Loomis, though, strikes out. Here's Coach Tricia Ford after the 5-2 loss.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's always good to get the nerves, ironed out a little bit, and get to see a live arm that you haven't seen. Obviously we've been scrimmaging ourselves here the last month and a half. So I thought that was good.
With several starters from last year's team graduated and out the door, ASU has to find fresh talent and some new faces to fill the shoes of last year's class. Reporter Riley Swenson has an update on the Sun Devils roster changes thus far.
When looking at the 2022 ASU softball roster compared to last year, 2 things stand out. Those 2 things are the Hackbarth sisters, Maddie and Kendra. They both started in every game last year for the Sun Devils, while also providing serious punch at the top of the lineup. But outside of the pair, ASU returns the rest of their starting lineup from last year's season finale and thinks they may have found solid replacements for the Hackbarth sisters. Maddie's successor behind the plate will be Ole Miss graduate transfer Jessica Puck, who started all 58 games for the Rebels last year and is widely believed to be an outstanding defensive catcher. Replacing Kendra in the outfield will be no problem, as the Sun Devils will field 3 veteran players in McKenna Harper, Jasmine Hill, and Yanni Acuna from left field to right respectively. Harper and Hill were everyday starters in the corners. Acuna started 26 games to boot, and all 3 of them hit above 300. The left side of the Sun Devil infield will likely remain the same as last year, with Alina Torres at shortstop and Bella Loomis at third, but it's the right side at first and second base that's subject to change. In 2022, the glove at first base will more than likely be freshman Sydney Sanders. Second base will also be a new face this year. Missouri transfer Jasmine Rollin got the start in the first 2 games for the Sun Devils, who hit .364 for the Tigers last year. The one position group that isn't full of veterans for ASU is the pitching staff. They do, however, have potential with Lindsay Lopez and Allison Royalty, a duo which ate the majority of innings for the Sun Devils in 2021. The most intriguing pitcher on the staff, though, is freshman Mac Morgan, who posted a .12 ERA alongside 366 strikeouts to lead her high school team in the Missouri Class II state championship and in a Missouri Gatorade Player of the Year honors. This ASU team, ranked number 21 in the country, is full of experience and promise, and they look poised for another big year on the diamond.
All right, let's take a look at the upcoming schedule for softball as they've got a couple games against Missouri State coming up, game against Duke and Minnesota as well. Sammy Miller has more with beach volleyball.
With a lot of new faces on the ASU beach volleyball team, it's important to get to know the players on the court on this edition of Sun Devil Roundup, where I was able to catch up with 6 of the different Sun Devils. Here's how it went.
Before ASU beach volleyball kicks off their season, it's time to get to know the squad in this edition of Sun Devil Roundup.
Oh my God.
Probably Super Bass by Nicki Minaj.
Pushing P.
Pushing P.
Ooh, as of recent, Pushing P. It has to be me and Shane.
Me. Definitely me and Katie. Check out our dance. We did it for our team talent show. It's so good.
Ooh. Probably Taryn and I.
Ooh, Katie and Riley, hands down. They have a full-on routine.
We make the best TikToks, hands down. Ooh, I do make, okay, hold on, I have to like,
The Office.
The Office.
Ooh, I really like The Office. Yellowstone. Oh my God.
Vampire Diaries.
I just finished Euphoria. It's fire.
Oh, Shane. Yeah, social media queen.
Shane Burleson.
I mean, I would say me, but I don't. Maybe Shane.
Probably Shane.
Lauren. Ooh, I would want Wonder Woman.
Well, I'm gonna go back to Yellowstone and say Beth Dutton.
Jennifer Lawrence. She is so sick.
Probably Zendaya, because I'm in love with her, so.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I don't really have a reason, but I probably just want to like shape shift into different things.
Speed. Probably super speed. Either, to fly.
Ooh, probably to read people's minds.
I need like a hat. I need a hat.
Give me a hat.
Oh, well, let me back up for this.
This is Brad. Come on!
This will be my fake hat, okay? Oh gosh, well Maya just stole it. It was the hat throwings.
Hey, girls.
I love my children.
So whenever I shank a ball, it's always boom. Hat down.
Hey.
The sprinklers! Stop.
Be here and see everybody, and sorry, that just distracted me.
10 out of 10. I don't know. Really excited.
It's gonna be a great year. It's giving the best and to hang with Lauren wine drop!
That's a good question. You might have to cut out this part because I have to think for a second. Hold on.
Don't say that, okay? Come to our new courts to watch us ball out. Works up!
This team will look to bring this energy and fun into their season that is just a few short weeks away. But for now, this has been Sammy Miller from Cronkite Sports.
Sun Devil freshman Preston Summerhays is currently competing as an amateur at the Waste Management Open. He'll be rubbing shoulders with some of the best competition on tour, including John Rahm, former Sun Devil and world #1 currently, as 7 years ago he was in a pretty similar situation as Preston Summerhays, playing in the Waste Management as just an amateur. Reporter Jack Pearson is going to unlock the vault and show us Rahm's performance from 7 years ago.
John Rahm was a junior at ASU. He was an amateur playing in the Waste Management Open, so let's take a look on how his 4 days went. Here he is with the big stick on the drivable par 417. This one bounces on the green, looks really good. It's gonna skid right past the hole. He would have that look for eagle on the first day. Here's that look for the eagle. This one is good for Rahm with a fist pump. The young buck not scared of the big tournament here in Phoenix, Arizona. Now, the test of all shots here, the tough par 3 16th at the stadium course. Many fans cheering, and he is actually pumping them up. He loves the noise. Let's see if he can knock this one on the green. He loves it. Look at that club twirl there for Jon Rahm. This one bounces right over the flagstick, spins backwards. So once again, no fear for the young amateur. Here he is. It's round 3. This is the 18th hole. Shot number 2 is wedge play. Unbelievable. Look at this spin. It's going to spin backwards, leaving him a nice 15-footer for the birdie. Here is Rahm in the final round, hole 16. Once again, that par 3 that we just talked about. Here he is looking for the green, and this one he goes right at it again, bounces. It's a short look for birdie on the final day. Rahm was in contention, had a cool Rombo jersey that represented Pat Tillman. Here he is for birdie on the 18th. This one would go right past the hole, and Jon Rahm would finish that with a tap-in par. This would leave him 12 under for the tournament. He was tied for 5th as an amateur golfer, and here he is earlier this week talking about Preston Summerhays and the similarities between the two.
Played quite a bit with him, actually. They live in Silverleaf, so me, Preston, and Tony Finau have actually played quite a few rounds of golf. I'm sure a lot of people saw when us three played together and Tony shot 59. People don't know is that Preston was 8 under through 9 that day. Right, he's definitely a very talented player, and he's only a freshman in college, right? He still has his whole college career ahead of him. So, do I see similarities so far? No. We grew up in very different environments. He has very different personality to what I have, and the one thing I can say, maybe both at this point in age, we're both talented golfers, and he definitely is an amazing golfer, and has what it takes, has the tools and the determination to be out here, and not only be out here, but be one of the best in the world. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see him out here soon.
Now let's roll to top plays at number 3. We have some wrestling for you. McGee is up 10-1, and he is going to go with the Uno reverse card and a near fall, but he went on to win 17-1.
Play number 2 is Tim Lovell throwing it towards the inside of the crease, and Colin Tyson there to scoop up the garbage. Gets a nice one there. Hey, goal's a goal.
And now something you don't see quite too often. Not 1 free throw, 2, but 3. Make it 6 consecutive free throws from Taya Hansen. ASU would win 67-57.
Thanks for sticking with us once again for another installment of Cronkite Sports Live. For the entire crew in studio and Sammy Miller, I'm Ethan Tuttle saying so long and goodbye.